Hey guys, it's Vince with Mastering the Method, and today I'm inside of Makerbot Print, once again performing one final test because I believe I have dialed in my small component prints with nylon carbon fiber. And you can see that the remaining time is 27 hours, 35 minutes. First and foremost, do not believe this remaining time. Usually it's off by a couple hours due to simplified settings, making slight adjustments. It's virtually impossible to get them right on, but I assure you it's probably going to be closer to like 21 hours. So overall, what I did was I adjusted my XY jerk settings, and I'll discuss that shortly. I also went in and adjusted my extruder 1 temperature from 260 down to 220 degrees. And many of you are going, man, that's a massive swing. Well, let me explain why I did that. First and foremost, we know once nylon carbon fiber filament gets exposed to the air for any duration, and don't believe just because it's in a compartment that it's not being exposed. That's not correct. If it gets any moisture in it, your temperature in using the filament will degrade in terms of when that filament will ooze. So I ran my ooze test just as I've dictated on my channel. I got it down to about 220, dialed it in, and I've been getting basic perfection. I did some testing with that, and then I went for the full-scale print. This is the sequence I recommend many of you to use if you're experiencing oozing problems. That being said, let's check out simplified settings, in which case that I made the adjustments so many of you will see what area of concern you should be with. XY jerk right here, if you leave your cursor in, the fastest instantaneous speed that can be achieved in the XY direction. Make sure to enter values in the correct unit system. Now once again, this is millimeters a minute. XY acceleration and Z acceleration are in millimeters a second. A lot of guys get these sequence of speeds confused. Don't do that. I'm telling you right now, pay close attention. Robotics requires the utmost attention to details because the robot doesn't make the mistake people do. And when you look at these, this is where your settings really come into play as far as how that printer behaves, once again, doing the water test, which I've already shown you guys. So again, XY jerk, I actually had this, I think stock settings is close to like 600 millimeters. Overall, I dropped it down to 10. That's what increased my print time so much. But is it really increased that much? Let me explain. What you see online is guys go, oh my God, it's printing forever. You know, I could get it down to like a 13-hour print. Okay, let's look at this. I've got 20 of these standoffs. In order for me to get a perfect print to print one unit, I'm probably looking close to an hour a piece. So if I'm at about 20, 21 hours, even 26, if you do the math, it really isn't that far of a cry from where it would begin doing 1 unit a piece. Now again, I am printing at 0.1 millimeter. Many of you won't be. Many of you are okay printing with, more of a shallow resolution in terms of just getting the product finished. That's fine. That's up to you. The thing to keep in mind is that quantify what kind of print you're performing. If you're doing a highly detailed print, your print time is naturally going to go up. If you're not doing a highly detailed print, then it really doesn't matter as far as the actual time it takes because, again, you just want to get it done. There are certain parts that are like that. I'm not a person that does that. That's not the way I print. I look for finish. Once again, I'm set here at 27 hours and 40 minutes, but I can tell you right now, this is an overrated time, and it's due mainly to that setting on the XY jerk. Testing this, I have a very good feeling will bring forth great results. The other thing I want to discuss is any temperature changes you make, and again, heated chamber, I dropped it to 60 degrees Celsius, and if I make an adjustment, any adjustment, I only make one adjustment. I don't make multiple adjustments. Why? Because you'll be a cat chasing your tail. If you make multiple adjustments, you don't know what to refer to. The process of trial and error documented in a scientific fashion is by doing one slight adjustment at a time. Most end users don't want to do that. And I hate to tell you guys, most of 3D printing is trial and error. I don't care what printer there's on the market. I don't care all the new technology. That's what you're working with. I work with graphics as well, dealing with just standard printers. Excuse me. And if I change from a standard vinyl to a glossy vinyl to a matte vinyl to my HD metal vinyl, all of those different substrates require different settings, no different than our filaments do. So keep that in mind. One adjustment at a time. Do not become impatient. The more impatient you are, the more filament you waste. So what I'm going to do is I will show you the finished components. Hopefully these turn out. I got a very good feeling they're going to turn out. I'll cut over to that and we'll go from there. Okay guys, the print is completed and you can see right up here it says 21 hours 38 minutes to do 20 components. Now once again, if we break that down, naturally it's a little over an hour a component. We are using the stock build plate. You can see here the finish looks incredible. And I did not leave ironing on. I'm just going to release this like I showed you in the previous video. Bend the plate and hold it. And it should release virtually all of your parts without you actually fracturing any first layers. And this is the longest print that I've done so far to date. You can see just how perfect that came out. The trick with 3D printing, regardless of what you see on YouTube, because there's a lot of misinformation and kind of gimmick videos on YouTube, is that end users, you're still going to have to do some troubleshooting, some trial and error to really dial in what you're working with. But when you do, and you get the numbers right, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you all for your support. Take care.